3.5 months of abdominal pain. And the parents take her to hospitals, multiple scans, multiple blood reports, and the doctors are not able to conclude. But then they are still searching for an answer. What could have gone wrong? And finally, the doctors decide to open up the kidneys. This is when the parents lose all their courage. And finally, they decide to take another opinion. And this time, they want to come to natural remedies, to Ayurveda, to Nadi Pariksha. And that is when they discovered that the problem is not what the doctors were thinking, it was elsewhere. And this is something that every parent, every child needs to know, that not all pains are physical, not all pains are real, not all pains are traumatic. Cure can be accomplished when you are able to identify the root cause. And this is how we experience joy of healing, by watching Siya Krishnamurthy get better, get out of pain. I'm Dr. Mahesh Krishnamurthy from Nadichikitsa Wellness Private Limited, and today we have with us Siya Krishnamurthy and her father, and who are here gladly accepted to give us a feedback for what she went through and how she got out of her pain. Thank you, Siya, for accepting to give a feedback. Thank you, sir, for graciously accepting to have this feedback. This is so important for not only for us, but for so many parents and so many children who go through these pains. So Siya, so when you came first, you had so much of pain. So what was it like? I mean, like, I know it's not easy to go through pain for a kid who does not know how to explain. First time you're having this experience.
So I'm 18 years old now, and when I started experiencing the pain, it was in December, the end of 2023. I didn't know this. Like I'm just in class and I'm sitting listening to a lecture, and suddenly in like a week I started experiencing, in the middle of a physics lecture, I started experiencing this sharp pain like in the left side of my abdomen. I didn't know what was happening. Like I would just start panicking, because of which I would like start shivering. My body becomes numb, and all my friends are like so worried, like what's happening to her. And they would every single day, I think from when it started, every single day I've like gotten that pain. 2 to 3 times I used to get it, and my friend used to come with me to the washroom. She used to calm me down, and she didn't know what was happening. I didn't know what was happening. We're all just confused and in the pain. And I used to tell my parents this, and they used to tell me it'll reduce. And once it became too severe, and I was actually admitted for emergency cases in like big hospitals like 3 times. Like I was not able to tolerate that excruciating pain. And after that, like we consulted so many doctors. I think, and before we came to Nadichikitsa, we had 18 consultations, and none of them were able to tell me what exactly is happening. I'm explaining my pain, and they have this blueprint of in their specialization, and they're just trying to match those symptoms. Nobody is able to conclude like what is exactly happening. And like you had also said, that they wanted to even go ahead with surgery.
Yeah. So sir, what did you go through? I mean, as a parent, I mean, I am a father of a child, so any small thing that my child would go through, I mean, I'd get trauma. I mean, it's traumatic to watch, because we can't feel that pain, we don't understand it. So how were you, and how was your wife? What did you go through?
See, when initially when she started complaining, we thought it might be a gas or eating bad food or junk food and those kind of things. We kind of took it very light, because the symptoms was very simple symptoms, but the problem happened was like it became very severe. She started shivering and all other things, and then we really panicked because we didn't know what to do. We went to our physician. Physician said, "No, there is nothing better to take to hospital. Let them do what do you call the scan, the
Right. The MRI.
ultrasound first thing. Then let's figure out what it is and all other things." So it was like it was a panic mode actually. You know, see, it would have been easier if the known things would have happened because there is a past history. But
Right.
this is like symptoms are simple, but the effect is very severe. She's not able to, she's continuously crying. I remember like taking her from the college, then we panicked and we went, even I went on the one way straight to the Apollo hospital. Then we admitted her, emergency. There also they didn't know what to do actually. So they said gastroenterologist. Then we went to gastroenterologist. Then they said cardiologist also consult just to check.
Nephrologist.
Then nephrologist because they found something. Then MRI. Then because nothing was conclusive, right? So everybody have their own specialization, but they're going on saying it could be gas, it could be gastric, it could be digestion, intestine. All these things were happening. Then it was a traumatic experience to tell because the fear of unknown is too much.
Absolutely.
More than the what has happened. We that when doctors were not sure, no, that is where we really panicked.
Right. So yeah, what is your, I mean, like, what is your diet like usually at home at that time? I'm talking about that time. What was your diet like?
So actually, I have a very big appetite, like from when I'm small, and like I had pretty good metabolism. Like the fat doesn't get to my body, and I used to eat a lot very happily. So when I went for 11th and 12th grade, because we're studying so much, especially when I study a lot, I get very hungry. So my mom used to pack around like 7 different dabbas and give to school, and in the morning I would eat before going to school. Then school we have breakfast and lunch, and then a snack period. I come home, then I have dinner, and after that if I'm again hungry, I'll have a little snack kind of thing. That would always worked for me. But I think when like there was a conflict with my mental health and physical health, I think that diet completely stopped working for me.
So would you have junk food also, or was it only home food?
I would have junk food also.
So how often
Yeah.
would you have junk food?
I think like I was a big fan of Maggie, so I used to have it like I think 2-3 times a week and all of that. And like other snacks, I used to I think pretty much have it every single day, like a little
But
amount.
more than outside junk food, actually, they had simple like
We never
chips,
ate
gifts, not like
outside food.
not too much outside, but
So home food only a lot.
Right. So this is pretty much every, I mean, like every city family pretty much has this kind of meal where you have quick fix meals.
Yeah.
yes,
Because the child has to get to school, and then your school starts at 8 sometimes, so you
Yeah.
get ready by, and the child wakes up about half an hour before going to school, so
Yeah.
the mom has to.
yes.
Rush.
So there are quick fix meals, so those are all there pretty much in the city. um, in fact, when I went to Meghalaya and I wanted to go to visit the Living Roots Bridge, I went there. I thought, let me taste their food. And when I asked them, please give me your food, they opened a Maggie. I was so disappointed. I said, damn, I don't eat Maggie in my house. So, but I had no choice and I had to eat
Yeah.
that Maggie. And that was, yeah, but in the city, of course, it's a very common food. Yeah, but then, what was your, I mean, like you said, you were study a lot. So, what were you aiming at? You study a lot. So are you a class topper or something of that sort?
Actually, until 10th grade, like I was I got like 98% in my ICSE 10th grade. I've always been a class topper. And then 11th and 12th was completely different. Like, I was preparing for competitive exams, right? And the competition level is crazy. It's like very huge. And everyone is aiming for that. So
IIT.
everyone's preparing just as well. And it was a very different change in atmosphere. I wasn't like, I wasn't always, I never like put myself down for not coming first in a class. And that suddenly became such a huge thing for all of us. Every single exam, they'll put up a rank list and we go there. Some of us are crying, some of us are like, so it disturbs us a lot mentally. And I think that took a toll on my body without me knowing. So,
Right. So, so how are you? I mean, like, what was, I mean, like, as a parent, we always provide the support, right? So whatever our children, whatever their ambition is, whatever they want to accomplish. So, how are you? I mean, like, despite the pains, how were you and your wife? I mean, what kind of support system do you provide to Sia when she was going through the competitive phase?
See, one is that I think by naturally, maybe it is coming from my wife's side. So always been like, you know, top in the list, right? Maybe school, even from their KG to primary, high school, everywhere. But it became very natural course, right? Then, then we knew that whatever she takes, she will do well, right? But when we put her into this integrated school, they were all preparing for IIT, and it was not our goal that she has to do IIT, but we want to give her the best, right? And the best that we could know, because we both, myself and my wife, both are engineers, and we are in IT jobs, typical Bangalorean type, right? So what we know, we want to give the best, right? So we don't explore unknown things, right? So we thought, there is integrated IIT course and we'll put her in that. But suddenly that environment disturbed her. We never thought that she will take pressure saying that I need to be on the top, I need to always give the best. We never had that thought, but she was doing it all the time. Only then we realized that that has a huge impact on her. Even though we never forced her, you should be on the top, you should be on the first in the list, never. But she has taken it into her head. But then we realized it was our fault, actually.
No, I think so. Really, see, you never. That was your first experience, right? First experience with a daughter at that age, right? If you're if having a replay, it's a different a different way. But then the first time you are getting your daughter into this competitive field, I mean, like there's not. Yeah, I don't think that's a mistake, because it was an all earnest effort that I need to provide. Every parent does that. Yeah, but Sia, you said that you made a statement that you were never upset if you were not at the top, but then you started getting into this competitive phase where you always wanted to be at top. What what influenced you? If that is not who you are, what influenced you to get to that, to be stay at the top all the time and actually worry about it?
So, weirdly, I've always like enjoyed learning. In ICC, we used to have like 10 different subjects in 10th, and I loved every single subject, and I would study it to my true heart. And there was no pressure from my parents or teachers to do well. And I naturally did it because I wanted to. And then in 11th and 12th, I thought I can continue that. Like if I want to do it with my heart, I will go at my pace and I will shine in my way. However, the system is not, it's not like welfare of a child kind of thing. It's more about producing rank, right? So everyone is behind that. So they need instant results. Like every week you need to show progress. When like every week you were going through a different chapter, different syllabus, and it's hard to keep up with that kind of pace when every single person has a different learning capacity to cope with that kind of thing. I don't know I didn't know that when you told me that my reason was stress. I didn't know I was taking stress until you actually made me realize that. I was fine. I thought it was a natural thing to, be in that kind of, fight and flight kind of mode all the time. It's an indirect pressure. Like when you take that course itself, it's like you need to do well. Like otherwise there's no point kind of thing. It sends that message indirectly from the teachers, from the society, from your own peers, from like other people you see. It sends that message that you need to be on the top, otherwise why are you here, kind of thing.
So yeah. Was it your choice to do IIT?
So I was not, like, I didn't have any clear vision as such in 10th, and I'm interested in various fields, like a lot of hobbies I have. So I wasn't sure what to pick exactly. But even in 10th, I would enjoy science, like reading science. I loved like the part. So I thought I can like continue taking that. And in 11th and 12th, we saw that like IIT is the highest place you can reach through in that field. So we went into that course without actually doing a very, strict background check of what exactly it is. So, once I started getting into that, I realized in the start, it was a lot about like IIT is the goal. However, in the end, like after all the health issue I went through, I realized it's all about like you learn to put effort, and you learn that hard work is something that can never be stolen from you. Right. And once I started working at that level, at like a JE advanced level, it made everything else so easy, like all the entrance exams, all the other competitive exams, and it made it very well and like easy for me. So I realized it's about the learning process. That's what matters, and not IIT. IIT is not.
Right. So you are quite mature when you talk about the system wants to produce champions. It is not meant to produce intellectuals. So did you have the same kind of thought until you went through this phase of your pain?
Uh, a phase of my pain. Okay. So until I was in 11th and 12th, I don't think anybody can know the system better than when you're in the system, right? So only once I went there, like in our colleges also, there are like banners of so many ranks, so many students. Our books on the last page, it's not about knowledge, it's only ranks. And it's like constantly reminds you, like, it feels like it's like a factory producing ranks kind of thing. And that kind of crushes you inside when you want to come to learn something. And like I felt bad a little. However, I didn't try to, align my emotions with that, because I realized they're not there to give me my emotional support. So it's fine. I realized that they're there to help me learn. It's fine. And that gap was like established after a lot of time actually. And once I went through the pain, that is a completely different thing. I've always kept myself fit. Like in 10th also, I was part of my basketball team. I was always like dance, fit, everything. I've taken care of my fitness. I've never thought that I would be someone who would succumb to an illness like this. And when my health became bad, I couldn't believe that it was something like that happened to me. My whole perspective changed. I've never thought like you need to consciously take care of your health. And then when I started like giving myself the time, asking myself why I am here in the first place, why I've come, like, is IIT really the dream? Why I want to learn? And after giving myself so much thought, so much space, I realized a lot more than what I knew when I just stepped into.
Right. So when you came the first time you came for a consultation, and so one of the things that we noticed, I mean, like, this is something that any person who is into the profession of healthcare would actually be put off, because even with that pain you would not lose your smile. So so it's easy for everybody to think that is she faking it? Or is she wanting some kind of attention? So why is she having this pain? It's easy, because I mean, I remember that you would say that, yeah, it's actually paining, and you would have the smile on your face. so yes, so when you went through these pains, and then we did Nadi Pariksha, and after that we saw that it was actually your spleen which was complaining, and because you would study late into the night, and then had to wake up early, and this is and biologically the gut really takes a toll, and toxins are not flushed out properly. You wouldn't go to the washroom in the morning. I mean, it's not only about you, it's about any person who would stay up late in the night and not wake up early. They would not essentially go to the toilet in the morning. And it's weird that a modern medical system, which has received so much grants for research, is not focusing on how the gut health can actually manifest into such a traumatic, painful experience. So at that moment, when we saw that it was your spleen just complaining, what were your thoughts? I mean, like, is it so simple? I mean, did you believe that that this could be the root cause of the problem?
Like I told you, I had no idea that I was feeling stressed. And that's such a weird thing to say. When I'm going through so much inside, I had no idea I was suppressing those feelings so much that it impacted and resurfaced in such a manner. And I've, like you were saying, I think a smile is like my coping mechanism, honestly. So I think it makes things a little easier for me to face. So when we first came to Nadi Pariksha, I told you we went through so many, like 18 consultations. And then when we came here, I had really like lost hope, because when the doctor tells you, like, I don't know what is your problem. You're the doctor. You're supposed to know. If you don't know, it kind of, you lose your hope. Yeah, and it crushed me inside that, am I really that, like, what is wrong with me, kind of thing. And I still remember the first consultation that we had, there were no reports exchanged. You didn't even ask me why you're here, nothing. You were there, I'm there, and the thread in between. And I was like, what is happening? It was the first time I had actually come for I've never known about this. And the first question you asked me was, why are you sad? And I was like, what? Because I was smiling on the outside. I'm like, why does he know I'm sad? And I started tearing up, I remember. And I told you, I'm sad because of my pain. And you were like, it's the exact opposite. You're getting the pain because you're sad. And I was like, what? I couldn't like believe it. And after a lot of it, and you told me that it's my spleen problem. Not a single doctor had mentioned that there can be something wrong with my spleen. And there was no holistic approach to my body at all. It was organ and target organ related. And I was so happy, I remember, when you finally diagnosed my problem. I'm like, oh, my problem actually exists. And I remember I cried so much the first appointment. I was really happy that there can be something done about this. And yeah, I think it was wonderful to know, like, there is such a different medical approach as well to body's healing.
As a parent, I mean, like, your daughter is in pain and then she puts up a smile. I mean, that could be really frustrating, right?
Yeah, it's more frustrating because we wanted to see that real smile. But when there is a pain, she's smiling. That is too much. It is for us to take, right? And like you said, the spleen, right? We have just heard about it, right? Probably she has not even heard about it. There is something called spleen at that age. So it was like, I remember after coming, I think when you figured out the issue, that itself was the first achievement for us. Because we were trying to battle without knowing what are we doing, right? We are okay if it is impossible, if it is complicated, if it's curable, all those things. But if we don't know for what we are fighting for, right? So that was a very distress situation, right? And I remember, like, when she came back on that day night, I think she wrote 5 pages. Is that the same day?
Not 5. I maintain a diary. So about my appointment, I wrote 25 pages in my diary, and I was like, it's finally cured. Oh my God, I'm so happy.
Oh yeah, after
after the appointment, when I came home that day, that's the longest diary entry I've made in my life. And yeah, so I wrote a lot about it, and I was like so happy. I was telling my parents and my grandma also. I think my grandma also cried that day. She was like really happy for me.
So how often would you get this pain in the beginning?
When it started in the beginning, I think I would get it like 2 to 3 times a day. Yeah, and I didn't know how it's supposed to like go also. Like me and my friends in class. So because the school timings are from like 8 to 5. Sometimes we stay back till 7. We spend a lot of time there. And even my friends are confused, like, how do we help her? And every time I would get the pain, they would like help me with like a hot water bottle. I would try to keep it and see if it'll go. Or like sometimes I would like just try to sleep in class, or like just rub it with like a pain balm. But nothing seemed to like go until I would like relax a bit. And that was very frustrating in the beginning. And after we came to the Nadi Pariksha, after that, I would start like keeping note of like when the pain came. What was I doing that time? Was I feeling stressed about anything? Did I eat anything different? All that note I would keep and all of that. And we had this thing in my class where my friends, like every time I would get the pain, they would like keep a note of the interval of how many times. And it was so wonderful to see every single time the interval increased. Like, it would be like, I'd get it once in like a day. Then I would get it once in 2 days. Then a 5-day interval, 7-day interval. And slowly as that happened, it really like re-established my faith in my progress and that I can actually be healed.
Yeah, so we went through several consultations, and we went through a few sessions of Narmada. In fact, I remember that I actually demonstrated to you and your father that this is about the spleen. I'll do Narmada, and there you go. You came with the pain and say that now I can see the pain is reduced. So slowly your confidence started building. So from your perspective, um, what do you think was the reality that you faced? How, what are the things that you did uh, from our suggestions that actually started mitigating the pain?
So I didn't know that a diet is so important. Like when we hear of diet, we think it's like to make your belly flat. That's the first idea that comes. But like when I got to know that a complete change in lifestyle is what's important for my healing, it was very hard, to be honest, to start such a strict diet in the beginning. But my family, every single person in my house followed that diet. They didn't allow me to go through that alone. And I think I'm so grateful to them for that. They stopped getting snacks and every single person stopped eating potato, all of that. And that diet, it truly made me feel so much lighter, and like fill me with more energy. And even the medications, I think the medicines are a smaller part of this chikitsa. Like, and the best part was like, unlike allopathic and homeopathic medicines, I didn't find any side effects. I don't know if it was my set of medicines or if it's Ayurveda in general. There was no side effect. There was no like drowsiness, or there was no like you'll have the dry cough, some medicines have. None of that happened. And I think that was really wonderful.
Right. How long was your journey from pain to being pain free?
Oh, I think just last month, I have felt myself like 90% healed. And it started in December 2023. So it's been a whole year, more than a year. And so
Yeah, I
in that
remember. I
direction.
remember scolding you once or twice where you went off the diet,
Yeah,
Many times.
and then I think it was kind of, this is a very common notion that when you get well, then you want to go back to what you are eating. So, and then because I always tell that food is for nutrition; it's not for pleasure, right? But if you look at all the marketing and packaging, food is for pleasure. So, which is of course, yeah, that's what we fall for. So this is so encouraging for us, because our work is primarily to get people to be well, and this and we feel so grateful and so happy when people follow what we're asking them to do, because we know how important diet is. I follow a diet now. It's monsoon and I'm on a diet. There's so many things that I don't eat, and so my family is on a diet because it's monsoon. And so we tell people how important diet is, how important lifestyle is. It's not enough that if you have different aspects of lifestyle, what is more important to have life? And if that is absent, then what are you aiming for, right? So
yeah,
so now for a whole month you've been
yeah.
pain
I've
free.
been, yeah.
Now, when was the last time you had a unbearable pain experience?
Um, Even like unbearable is a huge word now. Like even when the pain comes, I think I know how to handle it. So maybe that's what's made it a little bearable. Like the Narmada that you have taught me, I taught it to my friend in school whenever I used to get it. Her name is Vidya, and she's helped me so much. I'm so grateful to her for that. And at home, Ria would do it, or like Papa would help. And I don't know if that help. Like I remember so many times you've had calls with you, and you've told me what to do, like when I'm in that pain, and like it instantly gives me that relief. It's my faith that that will really heal me too. That adds on to it. And the last time I got this pain, I think was a month back only. And I think I was simply worried about college admissions. So I realized that I was worried about that. But then it's fine. Like, and now I'm like completely, like much better. So that's nice. Like you were saying, you're so grateful that we were like, you're grateful when patients like follow what you say. I think no one is more grateful to you for like the way you helped me. So just as a gesture, I made you something. Can I give it to you?
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah, I'll show 1 second. Okay. You can open it. Okay.
Oh my goodness! So look at that. Oh my god, I am actually having tears in my eyes. Oh gosh, this is
She did it in the evening when you said, like, let's have an appointment, no?
right.
The day only. She did it in 1 hour.
Oh my god, this is so beautiful. This is so beautiful. There was another lady who many years ago I was in the research institute, and she was she was admitted for blood pressure, and the doctors. It was an Ayurvedic setup, so the doctors were taking the case sheet. I looked at the case sheet and I said, "There is one question I want to ask." They asked, "What?" We've taken the case sheet. I asked, "I want to ask if she's a smoker." They said, "Sir, how do we ask?" I said, "Come on, she's a client." So I went to her, knocked on the door, and she said, "Come in." And went, and I asked, "Are you a smoker?" She said, "Yes, for the last 21 years I've been smoking." I said, "You have pulmonary hypertension. That's the cause." And at the moment the cause was identified, like you said, and everything started, falling in place. And she made one Chola dynasty Nataraja, just the face. She did a pencil sketch in her room, and then silently left it rolled on my desk. I went back to her, I said, "Is this how you give a gift?" Oh my god, oh, I'm so teary. Oh, thank you so much for this.
No,
No,
I
it's
have
really
one line.
Yes.
I would say, see, this skill that God gift that you have or you developed, right? I think it is completely gone unnoticed, right? Because with our lifestyle, everything we want a quick solution, quick solution. There is no such thing, right? And headache will take crocin or fever paracetamol. Unless that goes, your body's what you have taught is like it can self rejuvenate or self heal. We are not even giving a opportunity for that.
Absolutely.
So I wish, like, these kind of techniques and this kind of our
culture, tradition.
traditional way of treating, right, that should become big and not get into chemical based solutions for everything, right? So we are very, very grateful, and still we can't believe that this has happened with us, right?
Yeah.
Still we can't believe this,
Now we
but it happened.
yes, what you say is so true. I mean, this is our this is why we do what we do. So it's important for us to have real life case histories to say that it's not as big as you think, and it's not something that you have to say that that has to be put under the microscope. So that's why we started the trust Nadichikitsa Institute for Ayurvedic Studies, and from 2013 we have been training doctors in Nadi Pariksha. But it's been such a challenging journey, is because self-worth has taken such a beating amongst all of us, because we believe that if you don't score a rank, if you don't get a job, if you don't get this much salary, if you don't own a home, if you don't own a vehicle, then you have not achieved it. So everything else, your work becomes the primary source of everything that you're going to achieve. So work itself is not sanctified. So it's become really challenging. And now, fortunately, we have one doctor whom we have trained and who is now working with us. And now we just accomplished our residential training. We have two more doctors who are willing to take up the internship. And I hope that this is the turning phase for us to expand, to create more people who will do what we do. We want more people to take up Nadi Pariksha, find the root cause, and then healing automatically. I mean, the doorways of healing just open when you find out what is the root cause. Yeah, but thank you so much for
No. Thanks for your. Really, I think, I don't know. Maybe God sent you for us.
Yeah, I'm
And-
so glad we met the
Yeah.
right person at the right time.
Because my friend, actually, my brother-in-law said there is a what's her name? She used to do the NLP.
Right, Narmada.
Narmada, right? So he introduced me to her, and then when I was talking to her on this, then he said, "I have somebody by name Mr. Mahesh Krishnamurthy. Why don't you just go? Why don't you just go?" Then I did not even make an attempt. When I had a second discussion, I said, "Did you meet her?" No, I did not. No, no, you should go. Whatever it is, just go. Talk to him, and so that was like, I really over a lot on that.
So there's so many people in the channel because they're all messengers. You know, God sends messengers. If God came and spoke to you, you wouldn't believe that voice. So He sends people who will come and speak.
Exactly happened with us.
Yeah.
So we are so glad that we
Thank
met
you
you.
so much.
Thank you.
Sia has now dropped her dream of IIT. It's not that everybody needs to drop their dream of IIT. IIT is a very important milestone for people to achieve, but it's not for everybody. Elephants don't climb trees. So that doesn't mean that elephant does not know how to live. Life is a challenge that has to be lived. Life is not a challenge that has to be fought. You don't have to struggle. It's a wrong message. Effort is very important. Once you put effort, you know how to live life. Because when you put effort, new doors open. It's like a child who just has been crawling learns how to walk. A child who started walking learns how to run. A child who's running learns how to sprint. So this is how life has to be lived. And once you learn to live life, then beautiful things happen. We all have challenges with our health, but let it not come because of an unknown reason such as stress, where I'm pursuing something that is not even meant for me. It's not a part of my journey. We wish Sia all the best in her future that she has chosen, and I just hope that she does something that is so dear to her heart that keeps her smile happening all the time. Thank you for watching this video. We will bring more such stories to you which can help you design your life and around your happiness. Thank you.